Hey, you guys. It is Candice, Trinice, and V, and this is BGB. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about the show You, and we're on season 2. So hopefully you listened to us before and you heard our comments about season 1. Where do we start with this show? Honestly, like, Trinice and I was having a whole conversation. I just had to say, let's stop. Let's stop right here because this is some good stuff that we saying, and I just want to remember it so bad. Like,
basically, most people that are on season 2, you've seen season 1, so you know the major characters. You know about Joe. Actually, Joe, who is now Will.
Yes.
What's his last name? Bettelheim.
Oh,
okay.
We'll find out.
I believe so.
So he has ditched New York City and has moved to LA,
where he thought no one would find him because he would never normally go there as Joe.
Absolutely. So he is now Will, and we're still probably going to call him Joe.
Yes.
But his name is Will.
His got back to Joe.
He did get back to Joe.
But why is he Will?
Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. Dang, we ain't even 2-3 minutes in. Okay.
You know who don't care. So,
characters.
He has gone to LA, left behind his horrible, dark past, so he thought.
Oof.
And he's trying to start again as a new person, get a new job, and then at the very end of the first episode, he's on the same thing.
I know. It was crazy. Just the whole talking through it himself is just. I mean, I thought it was eerie the first season, but it kind of got on my nerves at the same time of being eerie because it was just like, Joe, you said you changed. And here we are yet again.
I feel like he really did change, though. Okay, so let's just intro all the characters. So, of course, we have Joe, who is Penn Badgley, and he is from Baltimore.
A shout out.
Do you?
Born, but not all the way raised.
Not raised. Normally they not.
And we have Candice, who was
I didn't even know you was on the show, girl.
Oh, no, that ain't me. It could never be me. She's in a mix of season 1, and then like pop back up at the end of season 1, and she's on season 2, and that is Joe's former lover. And then we have Love, and she is
it's the stupidest name.
Joe's.
So many people name their children that.
So many. How many Love do you know? Tell me
I
now.
wish I had my phone, girl.
Tell me now.
The statistics say.
I don't even trust your stats.
I'm just saying,
is Joe's new
it's quite
love.
a few. It's quite a few.
LUV or
No, I think they spell it funny. But go ahead.
what's funnier than LUV?
And then we have 40,
Oh.
who is Love's brother.
That's what you think about?
No. Yeah, I was thinking about the spelling that you said, but I was thinking that you spelled it the normal way. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's all right. It's okay.
And then we have Delilah, who is Joe's landlady and a reporter.
Yes.
And the sister of one of our younger characters, Ellie.
Yeah.
Who was young Jane,
sorry.
heebie jeebies.
Yes. Yeah. She has a note over here that says "little girl, but not."
Because she's
She's grown.
She's a grown woman. She's really not a little girl.
She's
But
15.
In the show, I'm just saying. But that's how, you know.
She a grown woman in real life?
Yes.
Oh, I know. I thought she was actually 15. She looks so young.
Did you look her age up? No, you just saying that she's grown. She's just saying that she's grown on the show.
We can look her age up throughout the course of this show.
I'm going to do it.
Candice, get on it.
So then we have Will, who is
the real
master of many people.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a flashback with Mr. Mooney, who is Joe's former puppet master.
Started it all. He started it all.
No, clearly we saw in this, his parents started it all.
Yeah.
Well, she's talking about like as far as the box and stuff like that. And then we have Henderson, and we have Ellie coming in at 17 in real life. So she's a teenager.
Like I thought.
Okay.
Ellie's coming in at 17.
Okay.
Boxing ring.
I thought, for real, I thought she was at least 20.
Why would you think that?
I just did.
Because she was being
just made it
grown
up?
on the show.
You
She's
just made it
just
up.
as grown as that girl that she made.
What girl?
Puff
woman
balls,
Puff Balls-
girl. Puff balls with the fierce eyebrows and the
And the
lashes
baby
to the
hairs.
gods, girl. Yes. Did you put that lipstick on that elementary
I
school
didn't.
girl yet?
Quiet. No, I didn't. I'm not finished yet.
She works for the school
Listen,
system,
guys.
guys.
I'll post it.
and
I'll post it when I'm done.
She does a lot of arts and crafts, and there was an elementary school girl that she was supposed to be creating that looked like she was
17.
Ellie's age.
Ellie's
But
real
yes.
age.
Then we have Henderson, who is allegedly a perv.
Allegedly.
According to the work that we have here,
Yes.
he's a known perv.
He was up to no good. That's what
I
I'm
wonder,
saying.
do they want to see this?
I know, right? Of my notes.
Do y'all want to see
These
this?
are my notes.
These are my notes. Let me see. I don't even know if I want to give it to y'all because honestly, no.
No,
I'm
we'll
not
just
gonna
show it
do
to.
I'm not
We'll
gonna do
just.
it. We can take a picture.
Yeah, we'll take a picture and let y'all see it.
But Joe, I feel like he made changes and then he was Joe again.
He made
was
some
never not
significant strides, but not really. Strides, but not really. Like
She was done.
no, I'm just saying.
Never done. Because when he was trying to run away from himself and he was trying to just live a normal life. And I say he was trying to run away from himself because he created his horrible past. So
Yes,
he
he
was
did.
only running
Yes,
from
he did.
everything that he did.
Stupid.
And
whore.
wow. And I feel like he got played because as we continue to watch and see, we see that Love, in fact, manipulated a lot of that.
Oh, definitely, because he thought that he got what he got.
Guys, hold
what
on,
he
guys.
thought.
I gotta put up this spoiler alert because they about to ruin it. So if you have not seen it,
Stop right
right now because nothing good is gonna come after this for you. Nothing good. So I try to be nice and give y'all a little alert now because y'all know what's gonna happen.
Yep, it's okay.
He
Because
tried to.
Go ahead.
Not done yet. He tried to
but did you see how
come in and get a job and be a normal person.
No, he didn't.
At that
He set it all up. Remember they showed us
Anavra,
Well, yeah,
A
he thought that he
Navrin.
set it up.
Anavrin,
that?
yes.
Anavrin, yes. He set it all up.
He set what up?
The job. Remember, he walked past. He heard them talking about the book, and he was like, "Let me get this book."
Oh yeah, we found that
And
at the
then-
I'm
end.
talking about as far as not trying to come
Mess
in
with
and-
somebody.
Right. He wasn't plotting it all based
It
off
didn't
of a
happen
woman
until she got
like
until he
did.
saw her there.
Because she
Uh-huh.
is the one that was fooling herself over that produce.
Come on now. You-
I forgot. Go ahead.
Sorry.
so
It's fine.
Sorry to this woman.
It's fine.
I'll say when this first came out, I was excited because it came out the day after Christmas. I was excited because I was looking forward to it because I was like, "What's gonna happen?"
Like, where could they go from where they were?
Yeah, and I was just
They
worried.
went there.
I was worried because sometimes when you know how a person is, it can become,
Contradictory.
No.
What's the word?
Predictable.
There we go. Jamie Foxx says be unpredictable. But watching this season, I still was like, oh my God, what?
Oh yeah.
Because
I
you thought
can't
that he was
believe
really
it.
a changed person.
I don't know if I thought that. I just
You
felt
thought
like,
that when he let Will go, you was like,
you're right. I did.
I
I did.
know, because
When
they
he
got
let
us
Will
all.
go, they did.
It's got to be a white Shanda, like Shanda, or something that's right in this.
Not a Shanda.
Because they definitely
Okay.
hit us with a switch.
So Joe met up with this guy. I was talking to this guy named Will, who basically specialized in fake identities. And he was like, I need an identity. I need to move on and not be attached to what I was before. And so Will is like, okay, great. It's going to cost this much, but it's going to take this long. And he was like, that's too long for me. And beat him over the head with a, was it a
Oh,
brick?
no,
Yeah,
what he
but-
said was, he said, you can become this person, but you're going to have to go and never come back. And he was like,
Right.
well, what if I want to return?
Right.
And he was like, well, now, if you want to return,
Then
that's
it's
a
gonna
bit
take
of
a
a
little-
different
yeah.
situation, and that's why
Okay.
it was going to take so long.
Right, okay.
So he walked back to the car.
And he
when
got his head bashed, and he didn't have his mallet this season, so that was
No,
Thank
but
God,
he's-
that's because he
he
wasn't
still
in
was
their
in the
books.
bashing.
He wasn't in, making
By
their
no
books, right?
yeah.
Yep.
So then he put Will in the box. What was the first person in the box? And every time you go in the
But this is the thing about it is that we didn't find none of that out at the beginning of the
No, we
story.
didn't.
We just
We
saw
didn't.
Will in the box,
yes,
the real Will.
and it was like, who is this?
Who's not even the real Will.
That's true.
Oh, right, because he changed his identity too, huh?
So yeah, so it was like when we first saw it.
Who is anybody?
Ugh,
Is
really?
Liam
Who?
Candace?
Right? Am I really?
Yeah, let's watch it. Let's
Yep.
watch it. But when we first saw the first episode, it was giving us the illusion, because that's what it is, that he was trying to be better, on the right path. He was kind of disciplining himself more, like, oh no, can't do this. You know, this is the landlady. I have to set some boundaries.
what he's
Yeah,
doing.
he was basically doing that, and then it was just like, okay, maybe he is turning over a new leaf. Now the only thing. You want to talk about it?
No, I'm just saying because the reason why he was doing what did we say that because he was running away from Candace?
We didn't say he was running away from Candace. We did say he was getting away from his past.
Oh, okay. He was being haunted by dreams, basically.
He was being haunted by
By a
a real
person.
life
Oh yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah. But I'm saying, but when you first see it, they don't really get into that at the beginning of the
Yeah.
story to even know that she's really alive. Because first of all, I didn't even know. I was saying, did they show that she was buried? At the end of the first season? 'Cause I
in
don't remember
season
that.
one, no, they
So-
told in season one. All we knew was that she was his first girlfriend prior to Beck, and something happened,
Right.
and he assumed she was dead,
Mm-hmm.
and then she came back and was like, "Oh, Bunny, blah blah blah,"
Right. Right.
and he was just shooketh. That's it. So we didn't know how
Because
exactly.
when she got out of that dirt and she tried to go report him, they was like, well, honey,
What you want us to do?
off the record,
And that's
I'll tell you this.
That was
if
our-
he thinks you're dead, then let him
Let 'em
think
think-
you're
yeah,
dead.
yeah. And that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a true
yeah.
statement, honestly, guys. So take heed to that because these police don't do nothing for you. I'm just saying because that was how me and your conversation first started.
It was.
They literally, you have to be injured in some type of way or practically dead for them to protect you. And it's so crazy to me because I mean, she went there, she told us step by step by step,
Yeah.
everything that happened, where to find him at. They didn't go try to question this man.
Yeah, they didn't do nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But we know why. Don't we all know why?
Joe says it all the
Because-
time. I'm sorry, Penn says it all the time.
So it was a really good point that he brought up. It was an interview with
oof.
him and Gina Rodriguez,
Heebie
aka,
jeebies.
aka Jane the Virgin, aka heebie jeebies. And he was saying, like, people romanticize this character. And we talked about that in the first season. But it's still happening. Like, people like, oh, my God, I want a Joe. I want
It's so
somebody to love
crazy.
me like
You guys
Will.
are
I'm not
really
gonna,
weird.
Some
He
of the
got
stuff that
memes
they
now.
did was cute.
What?
I forgot. Oh, like the whole, like just like the "I love you" thing, or saying, not saying "I love." They said
A wolf
something
you.
instead of yes, like stuff like that. Because the weird thing about it, they're really horrible people. Like they have
Yeah.
very bad lives, but people live hard lives, and it's hard for them to say certain things, like to be able to be comfortable to say, tell another person "I love you." So it's like the way that they work around each other's past in order to come together and still work on having a relationship and not letting their baggage or their past not allow them to have a love. I like the aspect of the things that they did. Are they crazy? Absolutely.
I don't agree with people fantasizing about this character.
I'm not saying about his character. I'm talking
No.
about the
I'm
way
saying,
they
but that's
did
but
it.
that's
point
what
I
that
was-
was
yeah.
the point that he was making. Like they basically what I was saying was if this was a black man, this would be a total different story.
It's true.
course,
It wouldn't be a
obviously,
story.
It wouldn't even
Tyrone
be a story. He would be
murderer, a
yes,
rapist.
he would
Tyrone.
be locked up. He would be damned to hell. He would be shamed. Everything.
He wouldn't
It would
even
be
have the freedom to do this stuff that Joe did.
There is a video. I saw it. It's this guy. He's in this bodega in New York, and he following this girl, and he basically like, oh, look at you. You have your lace front today.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
if Joe was
A
in
black guy.
Harlem or something.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
But in that one, she ends up having a boyfriend, and I finished it when he was like, what am I going to do or something like that. So I don't know how far they going with it, but I was dying laughing about that. But yeah, like as far as the penalties.
Well, Beck had a boyfriend, so
I
he
know.
just going to have to shoot that nigga.
But that's why I said I don't know
man
where it's
did.
going to go from there.
Right.
But as far as the way that this has been handled, Joe being able to cross state lines and be a creep, period, it would never happen with a black man.
Right.
Ever. Like, first of all,
black men can cross state lines. Let's not say
no,
like
no,
that.
no. I'm saying if they had the same run-ins that Joe had.
Well, the thing about it is nobody know well.
Because he did.
Guys, actually, they read the book and found out who actually did it.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, nobody knows that Joe did everything that he did.
Except
so that's why he's able to leave like he's
for
able
40.
to leave.
But what I'm saying is, even with suspicion, like the
Nobody's suspicious of him. That's how good he is my point.
No. That one cop that he ended up killing, he was suspicious of him in season 1.
Because what does he do? Take care of all the loose ends.
Gotta take care of the loose ends. I do agree with that, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know. If this is a black man, a little Hispanic boy, he would not have been on his side at all. I don't believe.
But it's okay. You know, we
Paco.
I don't know. You know heebie jeebies, so.
It's a little.
But no,
Let's
it's
see.
okay.
POCs used to
But I
sit
mean,
together.
They should.
They used to.
But meaning that we understand the show and understand the flow of how you all are going, we're great, go right along with you with some of these things. And, you know, because, I mean, ultimately, the show is really good. We definitely will not say that it's not good. We just was a little concerned about the character.
But I'm sorry. The point I wanted to finish was Joe was saying that the reason that he hates this character is because of how people romanticize him. And he's like, this man is a murderer, like a serial killer. He continuously kills people, and people are like, oh, we love him so much. We love him so much. And he said that they said something like the original title was supposed to be called, like, What Would You Do for Love?
Oh, okay.
And he was like, it's basically showing you how far do we as a society go to excuse a white male. Like, all of the stuff that he's done, and people are literally still like, but we love Joe. Yeah, he killed Beck, but we love Joe. Yeah, he locks people in boxes and doesn't feed them, or comes out here and takes identities, but we love Joe. Like, we can excuse so much, and that's what he was saying. Like, the issue is, if this was any other person, would it still be received the same way? And I don't believe it would.
Yeah.
But he's super woke about it. And he doesn't like
because he's from down the hill.
He is probably.
And I respect the fact that he even, you know, brought that up, being as though it could affect, you know, the way that people either watch it.
Oh yeah.
Or other directors. You know, it could affect him in so many ways, but I respect that he did that and just stood up like, this is a character, and we understand. I hope you all understand also that it's a character that he plays.
Yeah.
You know, and he's good at it. He's a great actor, and I love the fact that he still has a voice in it to say, this is, you know, either I agree with this character or I don't. You know, and we can be okay with that. Everybody have their opinion about it, but you know, I don't want to be going on no list or nothing.
I think what helps people basically romanticize him is that we hear it from his perspective most of the time. So when he's doing something, it's like, I'm doing this to protect you.
Right.
I'm doing this to help you. So as people are watching it like, oh, he's doing it because he cares. But it's just like, okay, I care. Am I going to
like
shoot
stalkers
your mother?
care?
That's okay for you too?
Like, that's the first beginning of stalkers.
just
Honestly,
saying.
like stalkers, like people that feel like they just belong to me. That's like how stuff begins.
Right. I'm going to watch you, make sure that you're okay.
I mean,
Right.
guys,
Or,
what you mean?
I'm gonna call
me?
you. Better call me as soon as you get home. As soon as you go into bed.
and
as
this
soon as
is why women have an issue with controlling men or men that do the most, because it's a very fine line from concern and control. It's a very fine line.
Yes.
So, like, if you go out with somebody and he's like, hey, can you text me when you get in? Very different than you better text me when you get in, or texting you continuously saying, like,
some
you ain't
people do
texting
talk to you like that.
Are you in yet?
because
Are you in the
don't-
shower?
you don't
Are you in the
say.
bed? What are you doing now?
I'm
I'm just saying, that's going so
somebody
far.
texting you being like, oh, so you don't have a home. Oh, you're not going to text me back. Like, to continuously.
Again, some of those things that you receive are because people
I
like
don't
your
wanna hear it.
family ask you to text us when you get home, and it's just like,
I'm just.
oh my goodness, did she ever make it home?
I'm hoping
She's
that she's not
homeless.
going off of us, and she's basing this off of.
I am.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
they just keep bringing them
I
up.
didn't. I didn't.
You didn't. She did.
Because I had faith that it's a new year, and
And I've been doing better.
you have been doing better.
You have. It's just the stuff you were saying. It has all been things that I've heard us say.
So it makes sense because it's from your perspective.
Uh-huh.
But I think the thing too is we haven't seen, or like, because dating culture is so different, I think people like the idea that somebody is so considerate. Because now you got people that barely want to do the basic things, and he's going so far above and beyond.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes it, unfortunately, it makes it easy for people to fall into a trap like that. And that's how you end up dead. So
Because
Or in a box.
right, or in that box, honey. That box ain't no joke. So
it surely isn't.
So during the course of Will being trapped in the box, the real Will. So guys, listen, we got to call this guy Joe, because we're going to be talking about
His name got back to Joe.
I'm
so
saying
it's
right.
fine.
So right, he's Joe. He's always going to be Joe. He's always been Joe, because I'm going to be talking about Will.
He's always going to be Joe.
Okay,
Well-
I'm going to talk about Will.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
but Will is in this box. So some type of way, well, not some type of way, but because he's in this box, I guess he just feels like at this point, I ain't got nobody else. Let me just act like, we friends or whatever. But I get ultimately they did become friends.
Yeah.
that's
Because he
probably
left
Joe's
him out of
best
the box.
friend.
Yeah, because he let him out of the box. Because I was very surprised that he actually gave him his real phone number
Yeah. And
when
then
he moved
answered.
away, and he answered.
I said,
But that's because he was like, what did he say? Something like, hey, I thought you might get yourself in something again. You might need to talk your way out of it, basically. But anyway, so he was in the box, and they
He did.
became friends. And
I
he
think
started
they
to
became
help
friends out
him.
of desperation, though.
Yeah.
Because Joe being in this new town, it's like when he was home, wherever that is, I can't remember.
New York.
Okay. When he was home with the Brownstones, he knew so much about like that area and
Uh-huh.
everything.
Yeah,
but
where
you
he was.
come to an unfamiliar place, then you have to make connections. You gotta essentially,
Right.
I guess, network in the crime world,
Crime world.
to have people to assist you with like certain things. And it's like, what better person than the person that I have caged? They can
Right.
do nothing but help.
And
you
then,
or get killed.
unfortunately, he runs into the problem of Will living such a shiesty life.
Listen, I need to tell y'all, because the scene I was not ready for was when he came, whoever the guy was that he did the identity package thing for, and he was like, I owe this man
Fingertip
money.
Man?
Huh?
Fingertip man?
Yeah. That's
and he
too
was
funny.
like, oh, I owe him money. And he was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, how much? And he said, what, $3,000? And so,
No, he said
no,
like,
No.
that's what
At
Will
first,
told
oh
Joe.
yes,
Joe.
Will
And
told.
And so
Mhm.
Joe's like, it's a lot
Okay.
of money, but I can make it work.
Uh-huh.
I'll be late on my rent. I'll get this special edition book. I'll sell that. whatever.
Uh-huh.
So he had all the money, and he goes to meet the guy, and the guy's like, oh, like a regular. He looked like a middle-aged father.
Salesman.
Yeah.
So he's like,
They be the
Something,
ones,
right?
honey.
he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I got the money. And he's like, okay, great. And he gave it to him, and he was like, where's the rest of it?
Like, this don't look like
And he was like, what do you mean?
Like
He
20
said,
it
"You
was
owe me
20 or 30, yeah.
$20,000. And I was like,
Ooh,
Will lied.
Will,
Now,
Will,
my
Will.
thought is Will probably lied because he wanted to get rid of Joe, which doesn't seem smart.
Because he
How
was
you
the only
gonna get
one
out
that
the
knew.
box?
He
Yes.
also said that he was on medicine.
He was on medicine.
So
Yeah.
he had a mental illness, I believe.
And back to that scene, the middle-aged man, whatever his name is, he just took
Fingertip.
his hand. Let me hold your hand. Can y'all see it? He took his hand and was just like,
yeah, he took that
he
off.
cut that finger off,
He
and I
took
was
it
just
off.
like,
He was like, oh.
But
Now-
he told him, he said, you
Right.
put this in the sandwich bag and I'll give it back to you and you'll go see Dr. Such and Such
And they'll
and
put it
he'll
back
put it
on.
right back on for
But,
you.
but what I'm saying is, I thought it was fake because Joe was doing this thing where he was fantasizing,
Uh-huh.
and then it would come back to reality. So I was like,
Oh, this is a dream. Like, wake up. Like,
yeah,
snap
like,
out of
snap
it.
back.
Nah, baby.
I
It was
just
snapped,
could
all right.
not-
Chopped,
He
actually.
was
chopped.
he was walking around talking.
Yo, that man just took that finger
I was
That's what
like,
you have to be ready to do when you're in that lifestyle.
yeah, but I think
So-
because of his adrenaline, he was still able to function because he was just
like,
walking around talking to people, and people were asking him like, "You all right?" Like he's like, "Yeah."
Then he had to go to a party and everything with that gang. That
Wrapped up. He just had it wrapped up,
Yeah.
y'all. He didn't even go to the doctors right away. He had it
He
wrapped, and it was
couldn't go to
bleeding.
the doctor.
He have his
It was
finger.
bleeding through. It was
It was
disgusting.
gross. And so he ended up having to handle him. And by handle him, I mean he turned him into human.
Well, he didn't
patties.
want to handle him. So this was the thing. He brought him. He was like, at some point, Joe was like, you know what? I know how to solve this problem. I could get rid of, because him and Will really wasn't that close just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he was basically like, I can get rid of him and not deal with it at all. So let me just take the finger guy. Let me take him to Will in the cage. So he told Will to come. I mean, he told the
Man.
finger guy to come to the place, and he met Will there. And he was like, well, here go Will right here. And the guy was like, oh, this is a nice setup. It's a nice setup you got here, or whatever. And they was talking, and then I don't know, I can't even remember what happened because I was just so traumatized at the fact that he just snapped this man, like just broke him down, and then I just remember seeing something that looked like hamburger meat going through the
Yeah,
at the
That was
restaurant.
pretty nasty.
It was pretty nasty.
So I think watching that literally made me like almost sick to my stomach, and I was just
Because
like,
you thought that
I
other people would
Yeah.
do that.
Not meant for this life, honey.
Did you think people were going to do that, like in real life?
I
You know what,
mean-
mobsters really do that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Though.
Why
I
do you
mean-
think they own butcher shops and stuff like that?
I get
You
it.
thought
That-
you've been eating ground beef all this time? It's a
Oh,
ground
you
human.
eating Henry?
Ground Henry. That's why they call it ground chuck.
Y'all always just
Oh my
that is a
God.
very dark joke, guys.
You
It's
know I
ridiculous.
get dark.
Woo!
No, I was just saying, like in the show, I think we've seen some deaths, but I feel like that was the most gruesome.
Oh, okay.
And to have him like
Chop it with
cutting
that
him up
axe.
and then grinding him up, like I was like,
Oh,
we've
then-
seen-
Go ahead.
We've seen him cut people up,
Uh-huh.
but I've never seen him like actually grind somebody. And then I was thinking like they gonna come in here tomorrow and use this.
Oh, but then the thing about it is,
He's
okay,
a
so the
cleaner.
only reason why
He's a
he
cleaner.
knew about that part of it is because him and Love had something there, right? Didn't she bring him there because did that happen before that? Where she was taking him around to different places to eat and stuff like that, trying to.
I think that was
Best
accident.
taco, you mean?
I feel like it was before that because I feel like he didn't know about the stuff in the kitchen until she was there because she was making something. I
He
could be wrong.
also worked at the store.
Yeah, but
We
for
had
some
the
reason
kitchen
I
in
feel
the
like
back.
that tied in. But anyway, yeah, but that was pretty disgusting because I know that he didn't have time to clean it.
We don't know that. Joe's a cleaner.
She wanna
He
keep
is
saying
a professional.
Joe's a
I'm just
cleaner.
saying.
Okay.
He literally got away with everything that he's ever done.
He did.
Even still now, he's away with it.
He is.
Yeah, he is
true.
away with it. Even with the book guys being there and everybody. Well,
But I think
I was going to say something, but I'll wait.
yes.
Oh,
we'll wait.
40.
Wait for what? We're talking about this today.
No, we talking. I'm just saying.
So that whole situation with him trying to figure it out, and then once he let Will out, I was just like, it's a setup. I always had this anxiousness that Will was going to turn him in or something, and when he didn't, I was like, oh wow.
Because the thing about working with criminals is they're criminals.
Right, and
So
he knew
you
his dirt.
turn on them. I mean,
Yeah.
if they turn on you, you can also turn on them.
Right.
Yes, and I was saying this the other day about every single show that we watch that involves drugs or the crime world. There's never any law and lawlessness, and they want to keep creating these codes that people are not going to live by. It's like, okay,
Sometimes they do.
no, they never do. It's temporary.
Tommy don't play about rats.
Okay, but it's what I'm saying is, it's so temporary. Like you know what it is.
Have we ever seen Tommy cooperate with the police?
It's not about Tommy.
I'm
It's
just
about
saying
he's trusting.
it's an instance in which it
Okay.
works.
Okay, he's trusting people that say the
Unfortunately,
same thing.
only Ghost calls the police on that druggy
Don't
daycare.
bang her. What I'm saying is, in that he had people close to him that was living by the same code, and they snitched. So it's like it's no order to this. This is all chaos.
But some people do stick to it. You do have few,
Very
very
few,
few,
very far.
but some people really live by code and they live by the rules of the game and they live. I mean, even there's an art in war.
Game.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are rules that you have to follow. And when you break those rules, then you know that's when consequences happen. But it works well when you follow the rules.
Exactly.
But they don't follow the rules. That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like,
always that
what's
one
the name?
stitch
Oh
to
boy
get
did.
out.
Will did. Yes.
Will did.
But what I'm saying is because you're in a place of crime, like people have to do what they're doing to survive. And somebody said something really good the other day. They were talking about trust, and he said that you never know who you can trust because sometimes it takes an opportunity or a need to change people's loyalty. And he was saying, like, you know, you can trust somebody until they meet these two things, because this could be your right-hand man, but if he has a need, if something happens with his child or something's affecting his life, he's going to change stuff up on you to protect himself. Or if he has an opportunity to become the man over you to get more money, then you can't trust him. So it's like, I feel that way about everybody in these situations.
But sometimes you have those people who they literally give it up.
Sometimes.
It's just only gotten worse these days. But when the code was put in, it was followed.
It was legit.
But
it was the real deal.
I'm just saying, it's just so many instances in every area where it wasn't.
I can almost guarantee that it was the inside hands that turned on people.
You're making her point.
Thank you.
I'm talking about when they changed, when they stopped doing it.
It be them young. No, I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say it be them young people that come in and want to hurry up and get quick with
Not
it.
necessarily.
But
sometimes
that
the old ones that don't want to change.
Yeah, but it's all good. So we love the fact that Will was one of those people that was real to what he said, and I think that he felt that way, and he's kept his word, because ultimately Joe kept his word and let him out. When he thought, and he was at his wits end, he thought he was going to die. He thought he was going to die in that box, even though Joe kept on telling him, "I'm not going to kill you." I don't even think Joe knew that he really wasn't going to kill him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But because they built that relationship and they started getting closer, and Will started helping him, you know, with all the computer stuff about old boy Henderson, quote unquote perv under my book.
Henderson.
And
we have the pictures, guys.
Yeah.
And he admitted it.
Yeah. So that's now. See, okay. So
and Joe doesn't always mean to kill people. No, he did not mean to kill Henderson.
Well, Henderson.
Oh yeah, well that's different.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
that was a one time.
But Henderson made him very mad.
He should have been mad. He's a rapist.
No, but he started saying stuff about Joe. He started like talking about saying
he was saying that stuff, but Joe was already pissed off with him because
it was
like,
he
knew
sure
about
Ellie.
Delilah, but exactly when he found out
about
people
Ellie.
Feel very different when it comes to children.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So that was the whole. He left and said he was going somewhere some Asian country, and that was it. So he leaves. We didn't hear from him.
He went with his woman. He went to be with his woman.
Yeah, he was talking about his woman, and he went to be with her. So then we finally have an introduction. I think we meet 40 first.
Yes, we meet 40 first because he comes into the bookstore.
Yes, he's a
dickwad.
40 grew on me, but at first I did not like 40.
When did he grow?
No one likes 40. No one likes the age 40.
Me,
Sorry.
Once they...
Oh, you know what? He did grow on me once I found out that they manipulated his whole life.
Yeah. So, again, guys, I'm going to put it up. Spoiler alert. Getting into it. We're going to talk about 40 Shorty, so...
40 is Love's brother. Twin brother. So let's make sure that we definitely clarify that.
I do want to make this point. People say that twins are weird.
Oh, yeah. I hear that. Yeah.
And the closeness, they say they're very weird. So I was leery of that. And I know they brought it up, but they was twins to me like Tariq and Raina twins. Not really.
Oh, yeah, because they weren't identical twins.
Really? I feel like they were much closer than Tariq.
I mean,
and
they
Raina.
definitely were much closer, but I'm saying like until they kept saying it.
I feel like they were
like dependent younger brother.
Like when they first introduced that they were brother and sister, they didn't really show that they were connected. Like it wasn't like evident to us. Yeah. But then after they mentioned it, then we started to see that they hang together, that they talk all the time, that, you know, she comes to his rescue all the time, all that type of stuff. So Then we started to see their closeness. Now, was it a little weird at first? It was a little distracting, to say the least. It was a little disturbing, to say the least, for me. It was just like,
she says more.
Wow. It was just like, wow. Like, because I mean, like, she felt like she couldn't do anything without him. Like, nothing in her life.
Emotionally fragile.
The thing about it is she was running his whole life. That's why
Right.
she ruined his life, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's appropriate. Okay, so what happened was 40, he became a challenged person because he experienced some trauma in his life. His au pair His au pair used to give him fellatio.
That was it?
These big words.
I thought they went all the way.
All I saw when
I thought he said, they
Love
said that they were more.
Yeah.
But when we saw it, that's what we saw. That's what made love turn.
Yeah.
But did we actually see any of it? Because what we were told was all a lie.
That's what we heard.
Exactly. So
Well,
all
we'll
that I
never
ever
know,
saw,
guys. We'll never know.
I only saw that his au pair fellaced him.
Filleted, I think. Is it filleted?
And
Fillet.
I think that's like belated. Happy filleted sex.
The way I was just so confused. Sorry, what?
And Love took it upon herself to drug her brother and kill the au pair and let her brother think that he did it. And their nasty parents covered the whole thing up.
Well, they say you can do what you want when you have the coin.
Yeah.
And they have the coin. I can't remember what their last name is because they kept saying, like, the whoever's their last name is. Like, oh, they're involved in this, so we ain't going to be able to do anything. The cops are saying that. But
I don't know why I want to call them Johnson so bad.
That's definitely not
very
them.
black of you. But in the
Because
series,
I was thinking of the other show.
A white name, really.
It is a white name, yes.
What was his name? Lyndon? What was his name? B. Johnson? L.B. Johnson? What was his name?
Yes. Anyway, so in the show, they didn't reveal it to us until the end. So this whole time, we know that something has happened to 40, and they keep hinting to it, but we never know it. And then Love is saying, like, you know, he's fragile, we gotta watch
right,
and this and that. And I'm like, what happened?
And even when his mom goes off, like, she's very protective of him, but she hellfire and damnation to Love. Like,
when she slapped her, my God, I thought I was watching Love and Basketball.
Yeah, like, so they had her and Joe went on that what was that weekend? It was supposed to be like a wedding thing for
they was their vow renewal.
Yeah, but it was so weird. It was so weird. It was like a cleansing for everyone type thing. And
but what was also weird, which we didn't get to, but Candace ended up coming back. And she basically sat down with
Quinn.
Quinn, yes.
She sat down with Joe and told him, like, you know, I know everything you did. I know who you are. I know you killed Beck. And he basically was like, what do you want? And she was like, no, I want to torture you. And I want to make sure that you know.
Little did she know.
Like, basically, she wanted to give him the anxiety of always never knowing.
Like she did.
Any
like
moment.
She felt.
Yeah, any moment.
Because being buried alive in his own misery.
Yeah, because apparently they got into some sort of altercation. He thought that she was dead, and he buried her. She wasn't dead. She had to
dig herself back up.
I mean, can y'all imagine
the horror? I can imagine that. I totally can.
Feeling like you waking up dead?
Being buried. Being buried. Have you ever been buried and saying?
No, I don't. I hate sand. Nasty.
It gets everywhere. It's the worst. I
hate sand.
Never suggest people do that. But I've been kind of buried a little bit in sand, and I can just imagine, like, just waking up, gasping for air, and the dirt and stuff coming in your mouth, and you trying to grab out at the same time. Like, that had to be like just a living nightmare. Not, it was this episode of CSI back in the day.
And
feel like I've
somebody was
seen this.
buried alive.
I feel like I've seen this.
And it was, I think, fire ants got in.
Ugh.
And I was just like, that was probably the most traumatic thing I saw on television at a younger age. And it was like a big build up to it. And I just was watching it like I wasn't ready. And he was inside of a casket, I believe, or something. But it was just like, wow, can you imagine this being your death?
Right.
And then for her to wake up, like to come to, the last thing you remember is you and him getting into it. And now you did.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And
So,
then, like,
so yeah, she came there and she's plotting against his whole entire life. So she decided to be 40 shorty.
yes.
Yeah, so to me, she pulled because she ain't killed nobody yet. But who knows what the next season will bring. But she didn't kill
She
anything.
know what the next season will
Oh,
bring.
dang, that's right. But she, she wiggles her way back into Joe's life without Joe knowing because Joe went to a party. See, this is social media, guys. If you don't want to be found,
It's too late. Because it wasn't even his social media.
It wasn't. That's what I'm
It
saying.
sure
Like,
wasn't.
he should have just stayed hidden. So he was at a party, just kind of like, he went there
to help
40 to help him, and 40 got all drunk and high and everything else, and he was trying to help Shorty pull him away or whatever, and people were snapping pictures. So she happened to just be scrolling. Candace is just she happened to be scrolling, and she saw a picture of Joe, and she was like, "Lo and behold, look who I saw." And that's how she found him. She kept telling this dude she was going to find him.
I was going to say, she probably was searching every place.
Yeah,
sure
but she said she kind of had given up a little bit or whatever. But then that popped up, and that's how she found him. So she got close to 40. So got in the fan and started dating 40. So she's been around for way before actually Joe was attached to Love. And then
That's not true.
I thought she was attached to 40 before he.
No, him and Love went somewhere, and he said, "I just met this girl at the air. Like they were at the airport or something." He said, "I just met this girl, and I'm bringing her back home with me. She's the one."
Yeah, it was after. Because then what I said was the reason that I brought it up is because you were talking about the vow renewal, and that's when Candace was there, and I was like, "Yo, she really did what she said she's gonna do." And she wanted to show him how it feels to be hunted.
Right.
And I think if we really use the right terms of what's happening, he's literally stalking, hunting, killing. These words sound better than considering.
Right.
You know,
loving, caring.
That's what's happening. Controlling, manipulating. These are the things he was doing. So when he saw Candace, he was disgusted and he hated it. And he was basically telling Love, like, I don't want to be around her or whatever. And I think I can't remember what he said to her, and they got to that argument at the bar renewal.
Oh, him and Love,
yeah. He said something to Love about Candace, and Love got upset about how he wanted to handle things or something. It was
and then she went to go look for a brother, and it was just a whole big spiel of things.
That whole vow renewal part was too much for me. I was like, get me out of here. But also, where Joe lives, he has a landlady that they talked about. Her name is Delilah, and she is basically raising her younger sister, Ellie, who is super smart. She wants to get into, like, the film industry, and she's young, so, like, she's trying to help him set up his social media, and she went and was telling him, like, you're a creep and stuff like that. And I was like, she could call it.
And she knew things about everyone in the whole complex, which I thought was normal for teenagers because they are that nosy, and like they just be
nosy.
Yeah, they be lurking.
Their business out there.
And they be lurking. Like she just be standing up on the balcony and finding stuff out. Like they just be knowing stuff. It's crazy. But what I found interesting was that she was creating shorts, which I would love to do. She was creating shorts.
Yeah, because it was the one that she was doing, she said, for school, and Joe thought that he was spying on her. She was spying on him for Candace. And so he basically like took her phone and broke her phone and everything. And I was like, and this is why people should see that he hasn't changed.
Right.
Because literally he tossed that phone. Like
someone really was after him though. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah. I get that.
But it wasn't
he
her.
assumed that because she's filming something, that she's filming something about him. Like, no.
When you're paranoid, I'm just saying.
And he was very paranoid. And I was like,
and when you've done all that you've done, After
I just
Sorry.
I was just gonna say just saying.
But seriously, after he's done all, he has every need to be paranoid.
Oh
Like,
yeah. He has every reason
if
for it.
Paco spills any beans, and they will be black beans,
It
or
could be
should they be
pinto.
pinto?
But yeah, so it's just like when I saw him interact with Ellie that way, that's when I was like, he's still the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until that point, it was like maybe he is changing.
But then he kind of started caring for her a little bit.
Yeah, like in a
Like a
little
little sister.
sister way.
That's what he does, guys, and that's why the people love him.
I know. But yeah, so but
He
what
was
I
very
thought was
concerned.
interesting was we didn't find out right away. He bought her a new phone.
Yeah,
But we
and
didn't.
he installed it. What you call it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We didn't find out right away, but he had installed some spyware on there.
To look out for her.
To look out for her.
only to look out for her.
Which actually
For
helped
Ellie,
him.
Yes.
Which actually helped
If that
him
was
quite a
love,
few
Her
times.
parent.
She doesn't have a parent, obviously.
Delilah.
And
Delilah was a parent.
she also doesn't have a sister anymore.
No, she did at that time.
So, yeah. So Delilah,
Hey there, Delilah.
Oh my gosh.
What's it
She
like
was-
in New York City.
she was, of course, like we said, Ellie's sister, and she was,
She wearing a gossip.
yeah. She was.
Gossip column.
Mhm.
I don't know, but she got her old collar.
And she was her
Oh, yeah.
regular FWB friend with benefits was a police officer.
Yes.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, you know that law be close because Paco's mother's boyfriend was a police officer. You see what he is, dead. And Delilah was talking to a police officer, so he was close. And like when stuff would happen, he would be around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of the order of the kills because Will got set free.
Uh-huh.
Then Fingertip Yo got killed.
Yes.
And then who's in the box next?
It was Delilah. Delilah was in the box next.
Yes, Delilah was in the box.
Because Delilah got nosy.
I tell you, if this show don't teach you nothing, nosiness is the first step
The
to
thing
death.
is-
Death.
So Joe put those pictures on her doorstep.
Because he was trying to help her.
Yes, but he said something to her. He was like, "What about those pictures?" Or "What about something?"
Because he didn't see anything.
And-
Because he gave her the pictures thinking that she was going to.
So, yes, what happened is they had a conversation about Henderson. And Ellie
The
was
perv.
getting close to Henderson because he's in the film industry, really popular, whatever.
She
So-
worked for him or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she started working for him. And Delilah, who had already interacted with Henderson, was like, I don't like him, I hate his guts, whatever. Her and Joe had a conversation about it, and she basically was like, this is what happened. And Joe was like, what? And then he was upset about that, period.
Tell him what happened.
So,
Because you can't just say just
oh,
this
you're
is
right,
what
sorry.
happened.
Basically, Henderson would take young girls to this sex dungeon. Shout out to Candy Bears. And he would get them really drunk, like,
He would refeed them.
yes, he would roofie them. And I don't know if he took advantage of them, but I know he definitely took pictures of them.
Yeah.
And he kept like this little collection. It was giving me 13 Reasons vibes.
Yes.
And he kept like a little collection. And she was basically saying when she came to, she knew like, you know, this is not how I was when I came in here. He's taking advantage of me. I don't, whatever. And she was trying to tell Ellie to watch out for him without telling her what happened. And Ellie basically was like, you just hate me. You're ruining my life. So when she told Joe, and he was just like,
I'm going to find the proof.
I'll get the pictures to get the proof. And then this will help with her story.
But what happened was Joe, after he went to say 40 that time at the party when they took those pictures of him, he was like, oh, this guy can't be such a horrible person.
Right.
Da, 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 da.
Right.
But then Elliot said something about waking up on a balcony.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I just had a really bad edible. And I woke up, but, you know, everything was fine. Henderson said nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then Joe got back suspicious.
He got back suspicious, and what got him back on him again, because he couldn't find the room the first time, but what got him back on it again was the fact that 40 mentioned that when he got high, drunk, or whatever, that it was another room that he was inside of. So he was like, what? A secret room? Suspicious.
What's killing me about Joe is he wants to correct everybody else's wrong and
Yes.
not his own.
Yes.
Like, you really want to take Henderson down. Not saying that Henderson is not a horrible person. I think that what he's doing is definitely wrong. But it's like, and when somebody found out about that box that you got in your
A
storage
whole
unit,
big box. Like,
like, sir.
It's like he trying to the lesser of two evils, but both of y'all are evil. I just want you to know.
We want y'all to take the time to digest this and then come back for part 2 next time.